So somebody asked if I was going to talk about the Georgia case of decapitation. Y'all, this is a tough one. I'll just make a quick statement about it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can just search that and you will see. I don't want to get into it in detail because, one, this has not really been, all we have on this topic is the information that has come from the family's attorney, right? So that's only half of the story. And the medical professionals who were involved in this don't have the ability to share their side. So the summary is, that there was a shoulder dystocia, and apparently the doctor allegedly applied excessive force to free the baby, and that resulted in a functional decapitation, not like actual decapitation is my understanding, but possibly not. I haven't read all of this, and I also don't know how good of information we're getting. I can't conceptualize how that happens outside of two scenarios. One being this patient presented with a baby that was stillborn, and that certainly is something that can happen because even a short amount of time of a baby being stillborn and not birthed yet, the body breaks down very quickly. And I have seen a situation, I was not personally involved, but I was peripherally involved, of a decapitation in a stillbirth. It's horrific. Nobody wants that to happen. It's not always... These are the things we don't talk about because there are horrific parts of my job, okay? So there are two scenarios where I could see this happening, and again, I just think we don't have all of the information. One of those is stillbirth. The other one is a scenario where there is a shoulder dystocia that has been so life-threatening, everything has been tried. What else do we do? And in fact, during our oral boards, so we have to go and defend our management of cases. And every year when we take our oral boards, this happened to me during my oral boards and during my prep for my oral boards, they start walking you down with, okay, you have a shoulder dystocia, that doesn't fix it, that doesn't fix it, that doesn't fix it, that doesn't fix it. Everything you do fails to fix it. And you get to the point of your only option is what they're talking about in these news articles, okay? So I don't know what the truth is here. And I will say, it doesn't matter. I feel absolutely awful for this family. Nobody should have to go through that. And if it does come out that there was medical malpractice involved in this, then I'm glad that they chose to seek legal counsel. I just really want us to not jump to malpractice in this situation because it's inconceivable to me that this would ever happen outside of an incredibly extenuating circumstance. And the whole thing is awful. Now, what I will say is, regardless of what led up to what we're talking about, it does not sound like it was handled well by the medical staff in the aftermath. And I think this is a huge part of taking care of people throughout a really traumatic event is how things are handled in the aftermath. A debriefing is incredibly important. A discussion with the family, a transparent overview of whatever emergency happened and led to this. All of these things are so important, and it, from what I've read, does not sound like that happened. But at the same time, I don't know. I wasn't there, and I just can't imagine this being the whole story. I can't conceive of it being the whole story just because I've delivered hundreds, if not thousands, of babies at this point, and there has to be more of this story. That's all I will say. I don't want to talk about it anymore because it's hard for me to talk about. It's confusing. I don't think we're getting, the full story, all of that.